kind of feel like that the same way I feel about SSRIs. I've had friends that have had disastrous situations come up because of SSRIs, and I've had other people that got from being suicidal to getting their life in order, and then slowly getting off of them, and then saying it was overall a good thing for them.
Wait, what is SSRI?
Antidepressants.
Oh.
Prozac. Well, Prozac's not one of them.
What does SSRI stand
Yeah,
for?
that's what it is. Selective serotonin re-up inhibitors. It's,
wow.
But
I thought they recently found out that it wasn't the serotonin.
Well, what they found out is it's not a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Right.
The SSRIs are another one where they're not exactly sure why they work. You know, like Zoloft is a good one. They don't know. They just, help some people, doesn't help other people. For a lot of people, it just makes them disconnected.
Right.
And they feel like just everything is flat and dull.
I took a Zoloft once. I don't know why I had a Zoloft in the house, but I thought it was...
You recreationally took a Zoloft?
I did not I thought it was a sleeping pill.
Oh.
Because Zo, and Loft. I was like, oh, this...
Must be.
I don't know. Well, this is a long time ago, and I don't know why it was in my house, but I had one pill, and I remember Zoloft, and I thought, oh, good, I need to sleep. And the way it made me feel, because I don't have an imbalance, was horrible.
Really?
Yes. Like I know what it feels like to be doing something I don't want to do. Some people call that work, and we're lucky we like our work mostly, but there are things I don't want to do that I do, and I know what it feels like to be doing things I do want to do. When I was on this drug, it was like neither. Like, I didn't feel anything. It made me feel very sympathetic to the people who suffer from chemical imbalances in the brain, and mostly it is chemical imbalances. I think it was Mike Wallace suffered for a long time from this, and also maybe it was Dick Cavett, somebody like that, who said, I was in therapy for years and years and years, and then they gave me this drug and I was all better. And it was never anything that they were going to fix in therapy. It was just the chemical. They just poured something in the test tube, and suddenly it was all good. Because some of it is just chemical.
Yeah, I don't think they think it's a chemical imbalance anymore. Because I think they've measured like serotonin and dopamine levels. There's so many factors. There's so many factors into why someone would be depressed.
Yeah.
Some of it has to be genetic, just like mental illness. Some of it is absolutely genetic. Some of it is life circumstances. I mean, if you have a shitty job and a shitty life and shitty friends and a shitty house and a shitty neighborhood, you probably feel like shit.
I remember when I had all that, and I was depressed.
Yeah.
But I felt like it was logical depression. There was a reason I was depressed. I was newly in the world as a person out of college, so I was starting life. For the first time, I didn't have the protective guardianship of school.
Right.
Okay, so that's scary. And I was worried, am I going to be a failure in life? Here I am trying to be a comedian. Okay, that's a risky proposition. Not many people make it. I was embarrassed to even tell people, what do you do? Oh, I'm trying to be a comedian. Okay, that's funny. And I lived in a shitbox. And I didn't have any girlfriends, and I had no money. And I was depressed for very good reason. No respect. I had nothing that makes people happy. When I got more of those things, I got happier. That's normal, okay? That's different than the person who has lots of great things. I mean, you read about this all the time among the show business community. And people, I'm sure, all the time say that, why is this guy depressed? He must be on top of the world.
Right.
And, no, he had to quit the tour because of mental health issues. He was depressed. People are lining up to see him in fucking arenas, and he's depressed. And it's, because that doesn't solve the problem when it's a chemical problem.
Yeah, and I think also for some people, they worship this idea of success as being the thing that's going to get them out of it, that's going to make them happy. And then they get success, and then they get accustomed to that success, and they're still not happy. And then they get really depressed, like, oh my God, I'm at the top, and it sucks.
Right. I mean, if that still doesn't fill the hole in your heart,
right,
then where do you go? You got nothing else.
Yeah, I always wonder. I mean, I think these things vary very widely. And I always wonder, like, what is their life like? What are their friends like? What's their family like? What do they do for activities? What are they eating? Are they sleeping well? Like,
Right.
are they doing anything to mitigate it, to put themselves on a path, that gives them some sort of a feeling of accomplishment in life, a feeling of like, and I don't mean accomplishment in terms of like material possessions, but like you're doing something, you're getting something done,
A reason to get up in the morning.
yeah, something that you really enjoy and gives you joy, and it gives you happiness and satisfaction. There's a lot of people out there that don't have that. Like you said, we're really lucky that we
Yes.
have jobs that we enjoy. We love what we do. We have like,
Love it.
I mean, there's a reason why when someone says to you, "Oh, you're going to be a stand-up comedian," good fucking luck, because most people don't make it.
No, they don't.
Most. I mean, you
Well,
remember the people you did open mic with? How many of them are still around?
I remember everybody. I was in the clubs with. It was hundreds of guys.
Yeah.
Mostly guys, some women, but I mean, back in 1980, yeah, and yes, you could name them all. Or, like I always like to point out to people when they get into these discussions about the strike and show business and what kind of business this is and is it different than other businesses. Yes, if you look at the credits of any movie, especially ones that are a few years old, 10 years old, 20 years old, 30 years old, look at the credits as they go by at the end of the movie. Outside of the 2 or 3 stars of the movie, you'll see a list of 20 or 30 people who were in that movie. All of them thought they were going to be stars. They all had parts. Not the biggest parts in the movies, but parts. And you look at that list and you do not recognize one of those names.
Yeah.
They all wanted to be something that this movie that they were in was going to take them to the next level, and it did not.
Yeah.
It did not.
I was
That's just show
watching-